Tomorrow, the third annual Emerald City Kings Ball wraps up its three-day run at the historic Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute in South Seattle. It's a celebration of all drag kings as they showcase their art.
So this festival began as a conversation between its two founders in a backstage green room back in 2021. And I talked with Damian Pelliccione, the co-founder and CEO of Revry, the world's first LGBTQ+ streaming network and co-creator of King of Drag. I also talked with Pressure K, a drag king from East Atlanta, Georgia, who was a contestant on season 1 of King of Drag. They're both in town this weekend for the Emerald City Kings Ball. Here's part 1 of our conversation. For people who aren't familiar with the world of drag, maybe you want to explain, what is a drag king?
Ooh, what is a drag king? I think I'm asked that every day. So basically, we're making fun of men. Okay. So really, because it started like in the 400 BC, so it's like it's been here, but because outside of drag, my pronouns are her and she, but I do have a beard naturally. Yeah. But I am able to jump into a character that's masculine, I could be feminine, so it's really like being in a play, and I created everything. Yeah. I would say that, or some people say I'm a drag king, just a little twist from a drag queen.
And it's kind of fun to be able to make fun of men just a little bit.
All the time. Y'all have so much material.
I know. It's hard to choose from what you want to pick, you know, to choose from to sort of make fun of them with. I know that both of you are in town this week for the Emerald City Kings Ball. Yeah. I know that, Pressure, you're from Atlanta, and where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Yeah. So you're a West Coaster.
I'm West Coaster.
What is it like being in Seattle for this show? And talk about maybe some of the talent that you see that comes out of the Emerald City.
So Emerald City Kings Ball is the biggest drag king festival in all the United States.
Amazing.
They were actually part of our prize package for King of Drag. So our winner of the show actually is one of the headliners, King Molasses.
Awesome.
But they're so amazing. They booked so much great talent like Pressure K, Dick Von Dyke, who was our runner-up, King Percocets, so many amazing folks from our show, King of Drag. But it's one of the biggest, and what's really exciting is we were advertising this on the show. It is completely sold out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at the Langston Hughes Performing Arts Center. They sold out like, I think like 3-4 weeks ago, like almost a month in advance. So this is, you know, all of the promoters and everyone who are putting on this event, there are workshops, like you're doing a workshop.
Yes, I'm hosting a hosting class.
A hosting class, yeah. Drag history. We're actually going to do a panel about the making of King of Drag. So it's not just the performances at night. Emerald City it's really almost like a convention for drag kings. And again, one of the biggest in the country.
What does that tell you that it's sold out within a very short amount of time? That just there's a huge interest, right?
Right. People know what drag kings are.
Yeah.
People know, and they get the decision to support. Because Emerald City is really like a recharge. Because it is difficult for drag kings back at home. Kind of get the support when you have loud and bright and like, well, people try to keep their job, let's be honest. But with Emerald, it's like they want us here. They believe. Like, I really was about to tap out on drag. Like before I came to the first one last year, honestly. And the celebration, oh, Pressure, you're great. Like, I haven't heard that a lot. I even been told that I'm not ready to host at home. And they want me to teach a whole class. Like, I'm hosting a whole day. Wow. You know, so it's really, dreams really do come true. 100%.
How did you get involved in drag?
So first, I'm a comedian. So I go by KB Too Funny, the bearded lady of comedy. So, you know, I was like, you know, you got to find a home club. So I was just trying to find a home club, and then I started MCing, because that pays.
Yes.
That pays.
Thank you.
Put your hands in the air, like, just don't care. So, and I seen Percocets perform. And it's just the way that he took over the stage, his makeup, his personality, and it was just the expression, the freedom. It's like I seen a freedom of aura coming out of him. And I told my wife, I said, this is it. You know, because I've always been bright, or people call me dramatic, or I just didn't have anywhere to put all my energy. Because comedy is personal. Like, I had to have a breakthrough and then tell the joke. But drag, I can be sad all week and have a show, and as soon as they say, Pressure K, it goes away.
The power of drag. Coming up in our next hour, I'm going to chat with Damian and Pressure K about some of the biggest misconceptions about drag.
Love the energy.
Yeah.
And we should note season 1 of King of Drag is available to stream right now on Revry. Very cool that it's got a streaming network.
Yeah, and Pressure K has so much personality and going to put on a fantastic show there at the show this weekend in South Seattle. What I loved about this conversation is there's obviously a lot of attention about drag queens, and a lot of people I think are familiar with drag queens, but but not a lot of talk about drag kings. And there's some really talented performers out there. I mean, the makeup flawless, costumes flawless, performances flawless. Just some really talented folks in town this weekend in South Seattle. It should be a really great show.
First time I had ever heard of drag kings.
There you go.
I was
See?
looking at Pressure K's chains. Wear one of those on our
And a sparkly hat, too.
Right? On the best of tomorrow, the 3rd annual Emerald City Kings Ball wraps up its 3-day run at the historic Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute in South Seattle. It's a celebration of all drag kings as they showcase their art.
The festival began as a conversation between its two founders in a backstage green room in 2021. I talked with Damian Pelliccione, the co-founder and CEO of Revry, the world's first LGBTQ+ streaming network and co-creator of King of Drag, and Pressure K, a drag king from East Atlanta, Georgia, who was a contestant on season 1 of King of Drag. They're both in town this weekend for that ball in South Seattle. Here's part 2 of our conversation. Damian, I know that some of our viewers might be familiar with RuPaul's Drag Race, which has been around for a long time, celebrates drag queens. You created the first ever show that's focused on drag kings, which is called King of Drag. What served as the inspiration for that, and what prompted the creation of that show?
Yeah, for sure. So King of Drag is on Revry, the LGBTQ streaming service, which is available everywhere that you can download or watch content. Myself and our Chief Creative Officer, Chris Rodriguez, co-created the show in development 3 years ago. So we've always been casting drag kings as part of the originals that we produce at Revry, at our network. We've had Androgen from Miami, who was in our House of Pride in 2021. We've had the Cake Boys from New York, and Show Pony and God Complex, 2 of my favorite kings out of New York. Kings are part of this community, and they are part of the artistry of drag, but we have yet to see drag kings on RuPaul's Drag Race. And so that told us that there's an opportunity to create a show that was authentic to the artistry of being a drag king. And for us, we're an ad-supported network, so we're fast, free ad-supported streaming, or AVOD, ad video on demand, and most of our shows are underwritten by brands. We pitch brands to underwrite our shows. For 2 years, going to the upfronts, like, no one understood what a drag king was. And it wasn't until we brought Murray Hill in halfway through development, who is our fabulous host of the show, and we brought them to our upfront and showed the world of advertising, like, this is what a drag king is, and they started to get it. We could not find an advertiser. We actually decided to take the little bit of profits that we had as an independent network and greenlight this as our first original concept that we fully underwrote. And then, last minute, Elf Cosmetics came in about 2 weeks before we started shooting, and we got to make an even bigger show. And the show today, we have 6 episodes, so it started airing in June, it finished in July. I won't tell you who the winner is, but if you...
No spoilers.
No spoilers. But if you go to Emerald City Kings Ball, you're gonna see the spoiler alert. That show today, and because Revry is global, has been seen by almost 30 million people. And there were 212 watch parties, like huge watch parties from Atlanta to Taiwan to South Africa to Brazil, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. Like, this was happening organically without any marketing support from our small team of 4 people. And so that's when you know you have something big that not is just for the drag king community, but for people who love drag, and to learn and to kind of be a part of something that, for us, our show, the biggest differentiator is drag kings are the nicest, most authentic and supportive community within drag, very different than queens. And it exuded queer joy. Like, this show has so much heart. I always love the episode. Pressure K is like one of my favorite kings, but I love episode 3. I know it's the one you were eliminated in, but it was one of the most heart-wrenching episodes because you talked about your entire process, what you just kind of said about with comedy and drag and giving up and coming out and then being cast on this show and being a part of it. And it's just been so amazing to see, like, all of the 10 kings from our show just fully be embraced by the rest of the world and being booked and being blessed and, you know, traveling. Maybe hard in a home state, but, you know, this is why we're here in Seattle, right?
Yeah, exactly, to help get out the exposure. What was that experience like for you on the show in season 1?
It really, like, because we was working hard. Like, you still had to work to prepare, but when we got there, even, like, the hotel, it was like, oh, like, really feel like the cloud opened up, like the dream really came, and the cameras, and it was so professional. Very from beginning to end. Each point, from the food to the cameras to, even just how they took care of us, how they picked us up. It was really taken care of. I felt like we were really a part of something professional, and it's gonna change. It's gonna make a difference, 100%. And I felt comfortable to bare my heart out on camera because of production. Because Damian would check on us. He's like, I'm supposed to talk. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. So really, the dream come true. I felt appreciated, and I felt protected and loved.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about what's going on in the country right now with all the attention on drag events, the LGBTQ community as a whole. What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions of the world of drag?
Yeah, I mean, I am not a king or a queen. I'm the biggest ally to the king community. I'm one of the judges on the show with great folks like we've had Lisa Rinna, Cola Scola, Jeff Hiller, who just won the Emmys on the show. These are we had this celebrity panel of guest judges, and Murray Keel, our host, our fabulous host. But the biggest thing was it was these 10 fabulous kings that have like just become family to me, and I'm wearing Pressure K's shirt, which you can go buy on their website, and I encourage you to go check them out and buy the shirt. But to support them and see kind of, I think the misconception is that the artistry of drag is about queer joy at the end of the day. Like, we're here to parody masculinity, femininity if you're a queen. Like, there is nothing that is, I think, combative or should be taken kind of so seriously. We're making fun of ourselves and we're having fun and we're here to entertain. That is the point of drag artistry. And I think so much of that is politicized because when we look at I'm a data guy, 39 to 40% of this country identifies as like hard conservative, but within that, 41% of that percentage of like conservatives support LGBTQ rights and drag artists. And that number is growing. And I think just a lot of that, when you consider that data and you look at how big Millennial and Gen Z, how queer those audiences are and how queer it's getting because it's so normalized, like queer culture is being so normalized. Even sitting here in this spot, being on this network, is really exciting because we are creating conversation and change and telling the rest of the world that it is okay to laugh at us, to enjoy this form of entertainment. Be entertained by it, exactly. I don't know how you would answer that.
I think you really hit it on the nose because people think we're dangerous. They always say, the kids, the children, but it's like, if I would have had this as a child, I know I would have less depression. I'm finger painting. We're really stoning and gluing. We're playing crafts. We're legit. I do feel like a kid again, getting into drag, because they always say stay in the child's place, but what is that? Because we're just asking questions. I want to be educated, so this really gives me space to be free, to have fun, and the world, I feel, is using us as a distraction. We got other stuff going on. Let's blame the kings. Let's blame the trans people, and we're just trying to go to work and live our lives. So I think that's the misconception of it all. We're happy, we're having fun, we're playing crafts, and stop using this as a distraction.
Period.
Season 1 of King of Drag is available to stream right now on Revry. And Pressure K just said something that I think is really important, which was they wish that there would have been exposure to the drag community as a child. I mean, I was thinking about, myself as a, kid that was trying to figure himself out and as a gay man. What if you would have been exposed to something like this, where you connected with people within a community that's, yes, kind of making fun of men or women in a way, but it's about arts and entertainment and all of that. What if you would have been exposed to that as a young age, finding something that you connect with, and people that are like you that just want to go out there and have fun and have a good time and, maybe dress up a little bit. Why not?
It's a good question to ask about the misconceptions as well. And I love what Pressure K said about her kind of returning to her childhood-like tendencies, finger painting and doing crafts and like stoning and gluing. It's all fun. And it sounds like she said, it helped her get out of depression, but just a way to also bring more light to the world.
Yeah, when you're going through a tough time and every time Pressure K gets on stage and hears the roar of the crowd, it's like, that goes away.
Yeah.
Just about having fun.